got you. Let it ride real quick. Look. The city eyes, it's time to bolt off. My God, a real nigga, cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shotty in the closet by the mob ball. Fuck what they heard, but tell them it's all true. Be cautious, that foundation falls till you fall through. They gon' fall. Look, I keep this shit 50 times 2. Ain't no more heart in this game, I'm John Q. Colder than the avalanche, way above average. Fans taste sweet, told him make me an apple tree. Left us in the valley full of bones, this where hope found. Java, come on, man, dark sands get broke down. Riding through Evans to a mall quad. Telling me how them crackers turn this childhood to a ghost town. Focus out, nigga, I lay that game down. I feel his pain, cause nothing is the same now. Let my light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like my child, no tangent. Try to warn them niggas, we bear arms like tarantulas. Them other niggas rap, I make anthems. I really see profits under this banner. Make my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I want it black and white like a panda. I'm better than that nigga that sunk dirty to handle. Look, I move like a Brazilian, precious cargo. Spirit ancient, but I got a new semi-auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Wardo. Sleep if they want, I cut through they Z's like I'm Zorro. Pay me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Ride around with Yaradon, just left the state bridge. Looking for a bitch better than Baby's kid. Remember I dropped Quiet Storm, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence, yeah.
Yeah. Mic check 1, 2, you hear me? 144 back again. Run it back. Yeah. It's time to leave the enemy desolate. I'm heaven sent. These niggas just on some extra shit, and I ain't impressed with it. Could you kick that bullshit to the left of it? Hey, look, you can't deny this excellence. I use this mic like weaponry, and I've been seeking more clarity. Right now, I'm ready as I'll ever be, rugged as I ever been. The devil knocking at my door, I'ma let him in. Cause I'm a worthy adversary. Pour them liqueur, laced with rosemary. It's time to grind, ain't no time to tarry. Take one of mine, get your soul carried. I got them worried, plus these niggas full of estrogen. They fickle, they false. Got a big ball, so end up in the real issue. Fuck with my brethren, I deal with you. Yeah, look, it's getting real official. Seeing how them bitches can cross you, and how they still twist you. It'll hit you, then peel a tissue. Them others weak, my brother's been sent to the deep. So tell me, how can I turn the other cheek while this wicked world trying to smother me? Something gotta shake, I'm gonna cry it out. Time to gird up my loins and ride out. In my soul, I feel devastation. In my eyes, I see desolation. On my door, death is waiting. But I don't wanna see no more desolation. I said I don't wanna see no more. Hey, in my soul I feel devastation. In my eyes I see desolation. Out my door, death is waiting. But I don't wanna see no more desolation. But I don't wanna see no more.
Beat the cops, beat the ops, beat the motherfucking eyes. I'm the one. Why you think that I've been rolling with a Kai? Your little arms is too short to hotbox with God. French is long, team strong with them, a gun, die would die. Tired of these fake snakes, crooked nature to oppress Jake. No pressure makes diamonds I won't break on this crooked landscape. We gon' make some shake, so I ain't got time to argue with you fucking reprobates. While these crackers getting richer when we raise the crime rate, and they hunt my people like gorillas and some primates. So we in these streets trying to raise a brother's mind state in every concrete jungle, from Cali to the tri-state. I buried brothers over beef that they couldn't squash. Blood in the streets, brains out like galosh. I trust the cracker when I mix that squash. You listening to real niggas, dog, who can't be bought. Whoa. Why you think I go so hard? Cause this world's fucked up, nigga, I've been scarred. PTSD, brothers can't drop their guard. Every day some bullshit, you gotta weave and bob. It's no facade, so every day I'm on my job. It's time to send these devils to the land of Nod. Cause when I lost my religion, that's when I found God. So when I lost my religion, nigga, I found God.
In my soul, I feel devastation. In my eyes, I see desolation. On my door, death is waiting. But I don't wanna see no more desolation. I said I don't wanna see no more. Hey, in my soul, I feel devastation. In my eyes, I see desolation. On my door, death is waiting. But I don't wanna see no more desolation. And I don't wanna see no more.
According to God, the white man is the devil.
See, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white ass, need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that bygone. Boy, ass need to stop and ask you to prop. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed he up on parole because of the COVID. It feel like the hoes in this world that don't go together. Nowhere is gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. See the prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. Like we all come together. They say God so loved the world. God so loved the world, and boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. Give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop and ask shit. Wrong with step, I'm silent for show. To the fake niggas, stay silent, I got it, let's go. I ain't taking no loss, ain't no talking when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell him we can't keep me slave. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high, got your baby pants through the fire. Ask you the prophets, that baby soul belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Devil will fail you, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Push your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop and ask you the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Yabashim Yahshai Barak Thumb to the brothers. Yahshim Thumb Bashim Yahshai to the sisters. I'm Priest Officer Parag holding down the Sabbath class for the ISUPK coming out of Arizona. All right, if you're watching online, you see at the very bottom of the screen, I pulled it up for you. We got our class location 12416 North 28th Drive, Phoenix, Arizona. We're in suite number 4, right off of the corner of 28th Drive and Cactus. We got classes every Tuesday through Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. And every Saturday we hold our Sabbath service at 11 a.m. All right, so that's what we'll be doing today. If you've been following along with us across the nation through our various platforms across different cities and states throughout the country and across the world, you'll find that our Sabbath services have been in conjunction with each other. All right, we've been doing our Sabbath services from Genesis 1. We're going to be reading all throughout the Bible. All right, we're going to go from Genesis 1 all the way out to the end of the book of Malachi. All right, all in order, all in succession. Okay, so if you tuned in last week with many of our brothers that was able to teach class last week, you'll see that we got into the story of Noah and the ark. All right, so we read, I believe, from Genesis 6 up to Genesis 8, and we're going to be continuing off from there. Where we left off last week was the fact that Noah found grace in the eyes of the Most High, and out of everybody on the planet, him and his family were saved, while everybody else was destroyed because of their wickedness. And a lot of brothers touched on it last week. Okay, but we'll go into it a little bit more again today. We'll get a little bit of recap, and then we'll, of course, continue on from there. Okay, so of course, with this being a Sabbath service, we'll start off with our prayers, and then we'll read the Hebrew, and then we'll read it in English. We'll get a good understanding, but we'll really be breaking down Noah and his generations and what came of him building that ark and saving his family and the entire rest of the world being destroyed. Okay. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. Imagine which means to stand. Panyagodon, which means to turn and face the east. We're going to open up with the prayers. Beginning with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Tabaa, Ratazaka, Haya, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathalanawa, Lakam, Kal Yawam, Wasalakanawa, Kawatnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kawatinawa, Wala'a, Tabayanawa, Manasai 1, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Raikaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Wathapara, Lai Walamyum, Amun, in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. The akak, or the power, in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Barukushai, Nathalanawa Hakak, Hakak L'Rapa'ah, Kal Baka'ala, Kal Madawa, Hakak Latahar, Hamat Azarayim, Hakak Lakwayam, Hamathium, Hakak, Al-Rakawa, Hatama'ala, Lagar Shun, Ba'ashem Yahushai, the Wadaman, in the English, with the power. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, please give us the power the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. The prayers that bless Israel. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Barak Lanawa, Wayasharala, Wahabaya Saparyam, Barak, Ba'ashem Yahushai, for what our month. What we just said was, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
bless us
bless us
and Israel
and Israel
and the school.
and the school.
In the name of Yahweh
In the
Shai,
name of Yahweh Shai,
thank you, so be it.
and so be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah,
Asha'ah,
Ayanya,
Ayanya,
Ahaharyam,
Ahaharyam,
Ma'ayan,
Ma'ayan,
Yaba'a,
Yaba'a,
Izarya,
Izarya,
Ma'ain,
Ma'ain,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Shamayam,
Shamayam,
Wa'aratazah,
Baratazah,
Al-Yathan,
Ayathan,
Lamawat,
Lamawat,
Regalka,
Regalka,
Al-Yanawam,
Ayanawam,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Hana,
Hana,
La'a,
La'a,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yayashan,
Yayashan,
Shamar,
Shamar,
Yasharala,
Yasharala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazalka,
Tazalka,
Al-Yad,
Al-Yad,
Yamyanka,
Yamyanka,
Yawamam,
Yawamam,
Hashamash,
Hashamash,
La'a,
La'a,
Yakaka,
Yakaka,
Wayaraf,
Wayaraf,
Balayala,
Balayala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Yashamarka,
Makal Rai,
Korah,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Athnapashka,
Athnapashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Taza'athka,
Taza'athka,
Wabawa'aka,
Wabawa'aka,
Ma'aitha,
Ma'aitha,
Wa'ai,
Wa'ai,
Awalam.
Awalam.
In the English, Psalms 121. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills,
I lift up my eyes unto the hills.
from whence cometh my help.
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from
My
Yahweh,
help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Yasharala
he that keepeth Yahweh
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in,
and thy coming in.
from this time forth
From this time forth,
and even forevermore.
even forevermore.
Psalms the 83rd chapter in the Hebrew. Allahayim,
Allahayim,
al damayalaka,
Adam Yalakah,
al thakaraj,
Al Takaraj,
wa al thashakwat,
Al Tashakwa,
all
Al
kayahana,
Kayana,
awa
Al
yabyaka,
Yabika,
yahamaya one,
Al
ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
al imaka,
Al Imaka,
yarayamwa,
Yarayamwa,
sawada,
Sawadah,
wayatha,
Wayatha,
yaitazawa,
Yaitazawa,
ayotazapawanyaka,
Al Tazapawanya,
amarwa,
Marwa,
lakawa,
Lakawa,
wanakakidam,
Nakapidam,
magalia,
Magalia,
wala'a,
Wala'a,
yazakar,
Yazakar,
sham yasha'ala,
Shom Yasha'al,
awada,
Awadah,
kaya,
Kaya,
nawaitazawa,
Wa'aitazawa,
laba,
Laba,
yakhagwa,
Yakagwa,
al yaka,
Al Yaka,
baryath,
Barya,
yakarathwa,
Yakarafwa,
ahalya,
Ahalia,
adawam,
Adawam,
wayashma'alia,
Ashma'alia,
mawa'aba,
Malab,
wagaryam,
Malgari,
gabal,
Gabal,
wa'amawan,
I'm the one,
wa'amalak,
Amalak,
kalashah,
Alashah,
I'm Yeshabya,
I'm Yeshabya,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gamashawar,
Gamashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Imam,
Imam,
Ayawa,
Ayawa,
Zawad,
Zarwa,
Labanya Lawat,
Banayawa,
Salah,
Salah,
Al-Shalaham,
Ashalaham,
Kamadyan,
Kamadyan,
Kasaya,
Kasaya,
Sara'ah,
Sara'ah,
Kayabyan,
Kayabyan,
Manachal,
Manachal,
Kwayashwan,
Kwayashwan,
Nashamadwa,
Shamadwa,
Bayan,
Bayan,
Dara,
Dara,
Hayawa,
Ayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
La'adama,
La'adama,
Sayathamwa,
Sayathamwa,
Nada,
Nada,
Yabmawa,
Yabmawa,
Ka'ira,
Ka'ira,
Wakaza'aba,
Wakaza'aba,
Wakazabak,
Wakazabak,
Wakatazal,
Wakazal,
Mana'ai,
Mana'ai,
Call,
Call,
Messiah Kamwa,
Sayakam,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Ayarashah,
Ayarashah,
Lanawa,
Lanawa,
Ath,
Ath,
Na'awath,
Na'awath,
Alahaya,
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 Sayathamwa,
Sayathamwa,
Kagalgala,
Kagalgala,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapanya Rakah,
Panya Rakah,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Tabaira,
Tabaira,
Ya'ira,
Ya'ira,
Wakalahaba,
Kalahaba,
Talahat,
Talahat,
Haryam,
Ayam,
Khan,
Khan,
Tharadapma,
Tharadapma,
Masa'iraka,
Masa'iraka,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Wapathka,
Wapafka,
Tabahalam,
Tabalam,
Mala'ah,
Mala'ah,
Panyaham,
Panyaham,
Kwalawan,
Kwalawan,
Wayabakwashwa,
Wayabakwashwa,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Wayabahawa,
Wayabahawa,
Ajai,
Ajai,
Wayakaparwa,
Wayaparwa,
Wayabagwa,
Wayabagwa,
Wadaiwa,
Wadaiwa,
Kayatha,
Kayatha,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Labadka,
Labadka,
Ayawan,
Ayawan,
Al-Kal,
Al-Kal,
Al-Ratazah.
Al-Ratazah.
Psalms 83rd chapter in English. Keep not thou silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O God.
Be not still, O God.
For lo,
Lo,
thine enemies make a tumult,
thine enemies make tumult,
and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
they that hate thee with the head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people,
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
and consulted against thy hidden
They
ones.
consulted against thy hidden
They
ones.
have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation,
let us cut them off from being a nation.
that the name of Yasha'Allah
The name of Yahshua
may be no more in
may
remembrance.
be no more remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against
They
thee.
are confederate against thee.
the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites. As to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kasan, which perished that endured. They became as dung for the earth. Made their nobles like Oreb, and like Zeeb. Yea, all their princes as Abab, and as Almunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded in trouble forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high of all the earth. The blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Wa Ma'aga Allah, Wa Allah Hayam, Matazab Ya'ah, Allah Wap Yahana, Allah Wap Yam, Hasaranya, Hakwatazayanya, Akaya Yaya, Wa Hakwathim, Yahweh, Ba Shem Yahweh Shai, the Wadaman, in English. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. Sorry, while you're shopping, you can turn and be seated. All right. Once again, we're going to be starting off in Genesis, the 8th chapter, beginning at the 13th verse. This is going to be right after the flood, okay? So Genesis, the 8th chapter, the 13th verse is going to be right after the flood, right after Noah sent out a dove from off of the ark to go check and see if the waters had cleared up. And the waters have been cleared up, so we're going to see them getting off of this ark in just a second. But I'm going to read, of course, from 13 to 20 in the Hebrew. Genesis 8. So Genesis, the 8th chapter. And we're going to start at verse 13. All right. Wayahaya Ba'athwa, Washasha, Malwath, Shana, Bara'ah, Bara'ash 1, Ba'akar, Ba'akad, Lakadash, Karabwa, Hamayim, Ma'il, Ha'aratazah, Wayasar, Nakha, Ath, that's like a Nach, Ath, Makasah, Hathabah, Wayara, Wahana, Charabwa, Panya, Ha'adamah, verse 14, Wabakadash, Hashanya, Bashabai, Wa'ashar, Yum, Yawam, Wakadash, Yabasha, Ha'aratazah, verse 15, Wayadabar, Alahayim, Al, Nach, La'amar, verse 16, Tazah, Mun, Hathabah, Atha, Washatham, Washathak, Wabanyaka, Wanashia, Banyaka, Avka, verse 17, Call, Hakaya, Ashar, Avka, Makal, Bashar, Ba'awap, Bahama, Wabakal, Haramash, Al, Haratazah, Hayatazah, Athka, Washaratazawa, Ba'arataza, Waparwa, Rawabwa, Al, Ha'arataza, verse 18, Wataza, Nak, Wabanyawa, Wa'ash, it's like Wa'ashathwa, Wanat, it's like Wanasha, Banyawa, Athwa, verse 19, Call, Hakaya, Call, it's like a Haramash, Wakal, Hatazawak, Call, Roa, it's like Roamash, Al, Ha'arataza, Lamashapak, Thayaham, Yatazawa, Man, Hathaba, verse 20, Wayabun Nak, Mazabak, La Yahweh, Wayakwak, Makal, Haba Hama, Hatawara, Wamakal, Ha'ai, it's like Ha'awak, Hatahar, Waya'il, Ilaf, it's like Bamazabak. So that was verses 13 through 20 in Genesis, the 8th chapter. Now we're going to read those same verses in English, and we'll break it on down. All right. Remember, what we're about to read is Noah finally getting off that ark. Matter of fact, just to give a little bit of a recap, let's read up a little bit. So we'll read Genesis 8, and let's start at let's see. Matter of fact, okay, let's just start from the top. Let's read verse 1, and we'll start at the beginning of that, and just so we can get a good context.
Okay. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 8, verse 1 in English. And God remembered Noah and every living thing, and all the cattle that was with him in the ark.
So this is talking about after Noah had went and assembled all of these animals into the ark. Now, something notable to mention, since we teach the law in the ISUPK, all right, is that when the Most High told Noah to bring these animals into the ark, how many of the clean animals was he supposed to bring in?
Was it 7?
By 7, right? So 7 of each clean animal, meaning clean. Go to Leviticus, the 11th chapter. You'll find animals that you're able to eat, all right? So 7 of each clean animal, but then 2 of every unclean. Why is it 2 of every unclean and 7 of every clean? Because you're allowed to eat the clean animals. So you need more of them, right? You need more of the clean animals so you can still eat the clean animal while allowing them to procreate still. All right. There's only 2 of the unclean because those 2 are going to procreate and you're not going to touch them because you're not going to eat them. But there's 7 of the clean because there's extra left over. So that way, for that time period that he was going to be on that ark, on top of that water, he'll have some food to eat. All right. Just something I like to throw in there so we can understand that the law has always existed. All right. Now, it says that God remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him on the ark. Okay. This is while all of those animals and while Noah and his family were on that ark. All right. That's the time period that we in. Keep reading.
And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters swayed. Verse 2. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped. The rain from heaven was restrained.
So now we're seeing that rain stop. Remember, it had rained for 40 days. It had rained continually over and over until it caused the land to flood. All right. And we can see that y'all brothers and sisters out there in Florida and on especially last few years on that East Coast, seeing all of that rain. Them what do you call them things? Why is that escaping me right now? Hurricanes. Yeah, why I'm acting ridiculous right now. The hurricanes that y'all experienced, that's what was happening in Noah's time. All right, it was so much rain that the ground couldn't suck up the rain fast enough. All right, most of the time you get a light drizzle, you know the grass is going to soak up that rain. Okay, even the concrete, it'll soak into the concrete. All right, it'll soak into the dirt. But if there's too much rain, the dirt can't soak that water up fast enough. So what happens? It starts to pile up and pile up. That's what you see with hurricanes. All a hurricane is just too much goddamn rain at once, and then it starts to flood. And of course, wind is involved, right? That's the same thing that we see happening at this time. But the Most High now had stopped all of that rain and gave the land enough time to soak up all of that water. All right, keep going. So that where the flood was residing, right? Go ahead.
Verse 3. And the waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of the 150 days, the waters were abated.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 4. And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat.
So now the water had gone down far enough to where one of the mountains, the boat, the ark was able to just safely just sit on top of this mountain. All right. Water just came down enough to where it's not floating in the water no more. Now it's just sitting on this mountain. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 5. And the waters decreased continually to the earth to the 10th month.
So that was the 7th month, but now we all the way in the 10th month. So they still on this ark for months and months and months, waiting for this water to go down, right? And that's something I always find interesting. Like the scriptures tell us, of course, don't add or take away from the Bible, right? We understand that. But I always found that interesting, right? It's a lot of instances like this where you find in the Bible that things that are not recorded, like it's your mind can wonder what the hell was going on that ark for those months that they was just floating. You understand? Waiting for them waters to go away. They was on that boat for a long time. It's just something to think about, right? Point being, they was on that boat for a long time. Go ahead. Yes, son?
I can tell you, sir, from serving in Esau's Navy. You know, so you're on that boat for a long period of time. You gotta. They definitely have to find something to keep their minds busy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Ain't nothing to do. You ain't giving them kids no iPads either.
Yeah.
That's it.
They don't have that. It's mentally draining to be stuck on somewhere for that long a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So, the most I definitely have to be with them to keep them sane, because you can be on a shift like a month or so before you even hit dock to land somewhere. It's like your mind starts to they have to keep you occupied on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your mind from going drifting off. You start doing crazy things.
And we'll find out after Noah gets off the ark, when they get to land and he goes into the tent, he drunk. He get drunk. You understand? But you gotta understand what this brother must have went through. We'll read all of that in just a second, but I know. But this context is important to what we're about to read, which is why we're reading it. All right, let's keep reading.
In the 10th month, on the first day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. And he sent forth a raven, which went forth, which went fro to and fro.
I called it a dove earlier. It's a raven. So Salaki. He sent this raven out. Go ahead.
Calm down. Until the waters were dried up from off the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he sent forth a dove from him.
Okay, I was still right. So Salaki. Go ahead.
To see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground.
Uh-huh.
But the dove found no rest for the soles of her foot.
So why was he sending these birds out to go check and see if there was dry land? Because if you send this bird out from this ark is the only place where this bird can land. You send it out, and if it's nothing but water, there's nowhere for it to land but to come back to you. So Noah knew, because he's a smart brother, he understood that if he sends one of these birds out, if they come back, that means they couldn't find nowhere to land, which means there's no dry ground yet. But if he sends this bird out and it doesn't come back, there must be dry land somewhere, right? Because it must have found somewhere to rest his foot, right? Keep going.
Okay. And she returned unto him into the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand and took her, and poured her in unto him into the ark. And he stayed yet another 7 days. And he sent forth the dove out of the ark. The dove came to him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf, pluck it off.
Mm-hmm.
So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth.
So how did he know that the waters was gone? Because that dove went and found the plant. If all of the plants was underwater, this dove wouldn't have been able to find any plants or any trees or anything like that. But this dove was able to find an olive branch. Right? Go ahead.
I'm done. And he stayed, verse 12, and he stayed yet another 7 days and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him anymore.
And that was how he knew, because that dove did not come back. He understood that this dove had now found dry ground. All right, somewhere for this dove to be able to rest its feet, meaning it could land somewhere other than on that ark. The dove didn't come back, right? So that's where we at now. Now we're going to start at verse 13 from where we was reading in the Hebrew, and we'll read on. We'll understand this thing.
Now come, verse 13. And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the first month, Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry.
So he removed the covering, and he saw for himself. He saw that the earth was dry. It was time for him to be able to come out of this ark, which the Lord told him this was going to happen. He had faith. Now think about it. This takes a lot of faith, man, because think about, how long 4 months is. 4 months is a really long time. Okay, the Lord told him, build this ark. I'm going to flood this earth, and you're going to have to stay on this ark until the flood recedes. Okay? Now, a flood, you might think in your head, especially us now, we got news coverage of floods all across the earth. We see floods, they last for, maybe a week, maybe two. Katrina was bad. That lasted for quite some time, but even then the flood receded. It didn't take no 4 months. You understand? And of course, the flood wasn't global. So we see that Noah, it took a lot of faith for him to have to sit on that ark for 4-5 months and just watch this water and be like, damn, what the hell do I do now? He just had to wait on the Lord, which is important. That's one of the fruits of the Spirit is patience, being able to have that patience. A lot of people give up patience. They don't want to wait on the Lord no longer. So you find that, you got to wait longer than what's comfortable, then you'll just give up on the Most High. A lot of cats would have just jumped out that ark and started swimming, trying to find dry land. But the Lord told you that he was going to show you dry land when it was time to come out of there. Okay. So he waited. And when he saw that dry land, it was time to get the hell up out of that boat, right? Keep going.
I'll come. Verse 14. In the second month, on the 7th and 20th day of the month, the earth was dry. And God spake unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, and thy wife and thy sons wives with thee. Bring forth every living thing that is with thee of all flesh, both fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful and multiply upon the earth.
So I want y'all to understand something. This is something that a lot of people have a problem with. People don't believe in the story of Noah and the ark because they say, well, how the hell could Noah have built something so large to fit all of the species and the genuses of all of the different animals and insects and things like that? That's the way that people are thinking about the ark is some sort of mystery, magical, spooky thing. How could he have fit all of those things on there? You tell me.
He like most say he had a certain amount of every creature.
Mm-hmm.
So of course he built it with enough space on the ark to fit those creatures on there. Not that, but people said these subtypes.
Yeah.
He didn't grab every single subtype.
He didn't. So what you telling me is he didn't have 2 pit bulls. He didn't have 2 dash duns. He didn't have 2 golden retrievers. It wasn't like that. It wasn't. He had 2. Let's go back. Let's just say like to the wolf. Wolf is probably one of the more older species, or what do you call it? Older
species
of a dog, right? That's what dogs come from.
The dogs are just bred from those wolves.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So what you're saying is that he didn't put 2 dash duns and 2 golden retrievers and 2 pit bull terriers and 2 poodles. It was just he put, for lack of a better term here, we'll say he just put 2 wolves on it, and then that's where we're gonna get the rest of our species of dogs from, right? Go ahead.
I used to be like, where are the fish? Where are the 2 fish? Where were the 2 fish?
Well, the fish ain't got to go in the ark because they're in the water.
Yeah, but the water be dry. So I used to be like, where is the 2 fish?
Well, that's another thing that people. So then another thing that people have a problem with is like all of these different species of fish. Well, the fish didn't need to get on the ark; they stayed in the water. And then anybody that knows about water, because all of the water on the earth didn't dry up. What we're reading about is not all of the water on the earth drying up. That means that humans can no longer live because we need water, sources of water. So there was still lakes and rivers and things like that. The rivers and the lakes and the seas and the oceans that we have right now are the same ones that we would have had back then. And that's where the fish was at. So, you know, that's it. But a lot of people have that problem. Another thing with like all of it, there's like millions of different species and genuses of insects, and they like, where did those go? You're not thinking correctly about these types of things. Every animal has a root. You know, I use the dogs for an example because, like you say, there's different types of dog. We call them breeds. There's different breeds of dogs. But let's just say in modern day, they all stem from a wolf. I'm saying in modern day because I know it goes a little bit deeper than that. But in modern time, in the last 600-700 years, all of the breeds of dogs that we have now come from a wolf. All right. Lions and tigers and jaguars and all of those. He didn't need to grab 2 of each one of those. Okay. He just went back to whatever the species was at that time is what he brought. And now all of those different breeds and types of those species come out of that one thing. All right. It's no different than, you know, us as people, right? Let's just say it's just one couple. Let's say it's, you know, talk about Noah and his sons. All right. All of humankind that are alive right now comes from Noah and his 3 sons.
Yeah.
So that you get your Asians, you get the Japanese, the Koreans. Those are not all of the same people. They're all different types of Shemites, but they're not the same type of people. They're different people. You got your Japanese, which are your your Chinese, which are your Moabites, your Japanese, which are your Ammonites. All right. You got a lot of different types of people that came out of Shem. Esau comes out of Shem. Jacob, black people, Hispanic people come out of Shem. Okay. Ishmaelites, the so-called Arabs, they come out of Shem. That's off of one of Noah's sons. Okay. And then you got Ham. All of the different African tribes that you see, a lot of them look different. They don't all look the same. Ethiopians look totally different than West Africans. All right. Somalians look totally different than North Africa, different types of North Africans. Okay. And so, but they all come from Ham. All right. Same thing when it comes to Japheth. You got your Pacific Islanders, but then if you go back to the Eskimos, you go back to the Aborigines of Australia, all of those people came out of Ham, Shem, and Japheth. 3 people. But are you going to tell me that we had to have Eskimos and Chinese and Arabs and black people, Hispanic people, Native people, Japanese, Korean, Aborigines, Eskimos, all of these different types of people on the ark for these people to now exist today? You're not going to tell me that because you understand that they all stemmed out of those races. It just expanded. That's the same thing that happened with the animals. So my whole point in trying to make y'all understand something is that don't let people get into your mind that the story of Noah's Ark is so unreal because how could he have fit all of those different types of animals? Think about it practically. Don't think about it like an atheist because an atheist doesn't actually have any logical thinking. They just want to disprove the Bible at any chance they can. But they don't think about it logically. They don't think about it practically. You had something up?
That's what I was gonna say too. You know, what makes it also easier to understand. You know, so they always you go by what their science says, right? They say like we take people for example, they say everybody that's on Earth right now come from what they call Homo sapiens, and then we all descend from from a certain group of people in the past. Right? Of course, they say millions of years ago. They said that there was Neanderthals and there's other group of people, but they're no longer here. And everybody on Earth comes from this group of Homo sapiens. So you can understand that. You can also understand that, for like you said, like the dogs. There's only a certain type. All these new breeds, some of these breeds are only like 100 or so years old, a couple hundred years old. A lot of these laws that we know are now weren't around 200 years ago.
Right. Exactly.
So you can understand that. You understand that, animals also adapted to their environment. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So to wherever they went, then now they got to find a new way to live in that environment. And of course, you can start getting different subspecies off of that.
Right. Exactly, man. And it's just really that simple. It don't have to be that. This is not rocket science, man. So I just wanted to point that out. Let's keep reading. All right. So we're gonna read from read from verse 18.
Genesis chapter 8, verse 18. And Noah went forth, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him. Every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth, after their kinds, went forth out of the ark.
Hey, and another thing too, Salaki, because a lot of people also try to use this. They try to say, well, how the hell did Noah tame a lion? They be like, how is he taming lions and all that? Listen, brother, if these white people at these zoos can tame these lions and get and walk them on leashes and all of these things, you don't think Noah that had the favor of the Most High God could tame this goddamn lion? The Lord, and this is something that us as Israelites have to understand. Now, I'm not telling you to go out there and try to find a lion in the wild and try to tame him, because most of y'all don't know what the hell y'all doing, okay? But what I want y'all to understand is that when the Lord gave Adam dominion over the animals, he gave Adam dominion, control, dominance over those animals, okay? We have dominion over these animals, and now, once again, don't go trying to do it right now, because it's not going to work in your favor. They're going to tear your goddamn arm off. Half of y'all are sinners and the Lord not with you anyway. But I want y'all to understand that originally it was intended for us to have dominion over these animals. And Noah had dominion over these animals. So he could take a goddamn lion. You think the Lord couldn't put his hand on Noah and take this lion and put him on this on that ark? You understand?
Yeah.
So don't stop using that argument, because that's ridiculous. If a white man with a whip can tame a lion and turn him into a circus animal, I'm sure Noah could do just fine. Get him on that goddamn ark. Okay. Keep reading.
Okay. Verse 19. Every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth, after their kinds, went forth out of the ark.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 20. And Noah builded an altar unto the Lord, and took every clean beast and every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar.
And so now this also goes to show you that you cannot offer unclean foods to the Most High. So when Christians try to pray over pork and try to say make this food unclean, you're trying to offer that to the Most High, and that's an abomination to the Lord. Don't do that. All right. And that's why Noah, he went and he made offerings after these animals went and had babies and things like that. He offered these animals, these clean animals, on an altar unto the Most High. And all that is just a sacrifice. That's like a free will offering according to the Bible. When you give a free will offering to the Most High, it's just something that you're willing to give to the Most High to show your appreciation to him. Okay. And that's what Noah was doing. All right. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it also proves, once again, that we always had the law, or before it became the law, we always had these traditions of what was clean and what was unclean.
Yeah.
Like I said, he took every clean beast and every clean bird, every clean fowl.
Yeah.
So Noah knew what was clean and what was unclean at that time. Because Adam taught his children when passed it down up until Noah.
Right.
So that's going to further prove that they say that they didn't know, then they knew.
Right.
So it was always taught to us what was clean, what was not clean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's a lot of things that when you read this Bible, a lot of people try to say that the law is done away with, but you find we're just in the 8th chapter of Genesis, but from Genesis 1 all the way up to right now in Genesis 8, we've seen many of these laws being kept. Abel and Cain kept this law of sacrifice. All right. Noah's keeping the law of sacrifice. And you go back to if you was with us last week, Noah in Genesis the 6th chapter, another law that he was keeping was he refrained from interracial marriage. The whole world got destroyed. The reason why this ark exists is because the sons of men, the sons of the Lord, or the sons of God, slept with the daughters of men, meaning they were intermingling their races. All right, that was interracial marriage. We got a whole lesson on that. A lot of people think that that's talking about angels sleeping with women on earth. That's not at all what's happening. We got classes where we can break that down, of course. But that's another law, because when you go into Deuteronomy the 7th chapter, within the law, it tells you you can't mix your race. All throughout the Bible, the book of Tobit, the book of 1 Samuel, it talks about the fact that you cannot intermingle your races. You take of your own people. Well, Noah was perfect. That's what it says in Genesis the 6th chapter. Noah was perfect in his generations. That's why he's in his position, because he was perfect in his generations. He took a wife of his own family, stayed in that family, stayed on the royal bloodline, coming all the way down from Adam to Seth on down to Noah. All right. He stayed in that bloodline. And that's why the Bible tells us that he was perfect in his generations. That's another law. So time and time again, we find out, and we're only 8 chapters into the Bible, we find that the law is all over this place. And the Lord has always cared about keeping the law. And even when I don't want to run too long, but even this law of sacrifice, you find that the law of sacrifice has never been done away with. That's why we don't teach in the ISUPK that the law of sacrifice is done away with. We don't teach that, right? Because even in the kingdom, we find that we're going to be giving free will offerings, and we're going to be giving burnt offerings to the Most High. Okay? And that's evident that that's important to the Most High, because in Genesis 8, we see it. In Genesis 4, we see it. All throughout the Bible, we see it. All right? Just another tidbit I wanted to throw in there, but let's keep going.
Verse 21. The Lord smelled a sweet savor. And the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground anymore for man's sake. For the imaginations of man's heart is evil from his youth.
Mm-hmm.
Neither will I again smite any more every living thing as I have done.
So the Lord told us at this point, he said that he was never going to destroy all mankind like he had done at this point. And he said that he wasn't going to flood. I think that's coming up soon, actually, Salakia. Right. But he said that he's not going to smite any more every living thing. The next time that there's destruction on the earth that comes from the Most High, he's not just going to leave 8 people behind. All right. He's going to gather. This is part of the covenant that the Most High made with Noah, that through Noah and his seed, from Noah down to Shem, all right, and then down to Abraham, Isaac, and then through Jacob and his 12 tribes, his 12 sons, you'll find that that's who the Lord was talking about here. He was going to save that remnant of people. It wasn't going to be like this again next time he destroys. All right, but let's keep reading verse 22.
Okay, verse 22. While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease.
So the Lord is telling us that he's not going to destroy the earth. All right. And that's evident. All right, we see that. Give me the next verse in Genesis 9:1.
I got in the book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 1. And God blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth.
The same thing that he told Adam and his rib is the same thing that he's telling Noah and his sons. All right. Replenish the earth. Y'all the only ones here. All right. So now it's time to rebuild this thing. All right. Verse 2.
Verse 2. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, upon every fowl of the air.
And once again, that goes back to when somebody say, well, how the hell did Noah get a damn lion on the ark? Well, the fear of that beast was on him. Or the fear was on Noah. That means that animal was submitting to Noah. Same thing you found with Adam, right? Keep going.
Upon all that moveth upon the earth, upon all that fishes of the sea, into your hand are they delivered.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 3. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you.
Uh-huh.
Even as the green herb I have given you all things.
Mm-hmm. And now, once again, some Christian will try to pull this, and they'll pull this Genesis 9 and 3 and say that, well, that means that you can eat whatever you want. All you got to do is just go back 1 chapter prior to this, and you can find that there are clean meats and unclean meats. So when the Lord tells you that all that moves is food for you or is meat for you, there's a context to it, right? Because what I can tell y'all in here right now is, hey, whatever y'all want to eat in here, go ahead. Y'all got it. Ain't no unclean food in here, though. You understand? So there's a context to everything. If I say you want whatever you want to eat in here, you can have. We might have some chicken, some steak, or whatever we got going on in here. Y'all can have some of that. There's not going to be any pork for you to eat. And that's the same thing that's the context of what the Most High was telling Noah. All right, anything that's alive you can eat, because he already explained to him what clean and unclean was. We can find that in prior chapters. Keep reading.
Now, verse 4. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat.
And this is also, ain't this a law in Leviticus? In the book of Leviticus, there's a law that says that you shall not eat anything with the blood in it. That means that you got to cook your meat. Don't be like Esau. You know, Esau in Genesis, the 28th chapter, he went and he ate the raw meat. You can't eat raw meat. You got to cook your meat. All right. You can't go get you a steak from the grocery store. Like, what's that dude? Liver King, I think his name is. Yeah. Liver King on TikTok and Instagram and all over the place. He's some bodybuilder and he just eats raw meat. He just take the meat directly from the grocery store and he just eat it. You understand? You can't do that. All right. The Lord is telling you to cook your meat. Why? Because one, he said so. It's a law, but also because you're going to kill yourself eating that. You got to cook it. All right. So you have to cook your meat. And so he's telling you, but flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof. Remember, in Leviticus, it tells us that blood, the life is in the blood. All right. He's telling you don't eat that. All right. Verse 5.
Verse 5. And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it. And at the hand of man. At the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man.
Mm-hmm.
Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For the image of God made he man.
And there we go. I mean, it's just laws all over again. It's just like reading Exodus the 20th chapter. Thou shalt not commit murder. All right. He's telling you that there's a punishment for, like, once again, the punishment in Exodus is if you commit murder, that means you get put to death. You get stoned to death. All right. That's what the Lord is telling Noah. Before you find a written law, that's why don't never let nobody tell you, oh, that's the law of Moses. We don't keep that no more. Well, is it the law of Noah too? Because Noah was way before Moses and he was given this law. You understand? Not eating the blood, that's a Levitical law. But is it really? Because Noah had it. Just because we see it in the book of Leviticus don't mean that it's not a law that the Most High intended for all humankind to abide. All right? And that's what we see here. We're in Genesis the 9th chapter. We just started reading the Bible. And we find these laws all throughout it. All right? Let's keep reading.
Done. Verse 7. And you be ye fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth, and multiply therein. Verse 8. And God spake unto Noah and to his sons with him, saying, and I, behold, I establish my covenant with you, and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl, of the cattle, and of every beast, and of every beast of the earth with you. For all that go out of the ark, to every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood.
Mm-hmm.
Neither shall there be any more. Neither shall there be any more be a flood to destroy the earth.
And this is the covenant that the Most High made with Noah and with his sons and with the beasts of the earth, that the Lord would never cut off the earth with a flood again. All right. And we understand that there's never, even when you go into prophecy, when the Lord talks about destroying the earth, he talks about destroying it with fire. All right. But not with a flood. All right. You see that Babylon is going to be destroyed with fire. The nations are going to be put to death with fire. We see that all throughout the Bible, but nowhere do you find that there's going to be some sort of flood or water. Instead of that water being used for death, the water is going to be used for life, which is why you find Christ telling us that he has the living water. All right. But now it's going to be a reversal, which means that fire is going to be the one that puts to death. All right. And we'll get a lot more of that as we continue reading this Bible week in and week out. All right. But that is the covenant that he's speaking of right now, is that he's not going to destroy the earth with a flood. All right. Keep going.
Okay. verse 12. And God said, this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations.
And here's the token. This is the token of the sign, all right, that I'm making this covenant with you. Go ahead, verse 13.
Verse 13. I do set my bow in the cloud.
And that bow that he's talking about is a rainbow. That's why every time you see it rain, when the rain lets up, you see a rainbow in the sky. All right. A lot of that, the science behind it is you see that's just light reflecting off of the sky, right? Or excuse me, because of that water, right? That's a token of the Most High set in the sky after every time you see it rain. So that way, it's almost like the way I look at it, is like the Most High saying, "Hey, look, the rain stopped. I'm not gonna. It's not gonna keep raining. It's over now. I'm not gonna flood the earth. All right, because that's when you see that rainbow is after it stops raining. All right, and that goes all the way back to Noah. All right, now people have tried to take that rainbow and blaspheme it by making it a pride flag and trying to make it, something that has to do with being gay, and that's not at all what. It's not at all. It's almost the way I look at it is it's a mockery to the Most High, right? Because the rainbow is a symbol that the Most High is not going to destroy the earth with water. Right. It's almost like I want to just be blunt, but I can't. I don't want to get our channel taken down. It's almost like the LGBTQ community is spitting in the face of the Most High, saying, "Well, you said you wasn't going to kill us. Here's the rainbow." You know what I'm saying? Like that's the way I look at it. Like it's just a mockery of the Most High because everybody knows that. But regardless, people have tried to pervert it and tried to make it to mean other things. But all that is a symbol that the Most High is not going to destroy the world by flood or by water. You have something?
That makes it crazy that saying that nowadays you can't even put the rainbow on your car without people think that you're of that community. Yeah. I know my dad was telling me he had but as a Christian, so he knows that store saw a rainbow, with the clouds on it. So he's like, oh yeah, he a Christian, so he thinking like this is God's promise to us. Not to play, so he puts it on his car. Then he get all these strange looks from people. Then one of his friends, she comes to us like, oh, Mike, you want to tell me something? He's like, I'll tell you what. He's like, you ain't tell me you was down like that. He's like, down like what? So, like that.
Damn.
He's all confused. He don't know what you're talking about.
That's tough.
So you got the rainbow in your car. He's like, yeah, that's God's promise. She's like, oh no, that's like those people use that now. Yeah. He's like, what? He was surprised. He's like, I didn't know that. I got it because what it represents. From the Bible. And
you should be able to, the rainbow. What's beautiful about it is it has all colors of the color spectrum. All right, it has every color that's inside of the color spectrum. It's actually a very beautiful symbol. But because it's been perverted, you're not gonna see me rocking no goddamn rainbow. You understand? You won't see me rocking no rainbow. I ain't gonna have no bumper stickers of rainbows, no rainbows in my house. And it's actually sad when you think about it. It's funny we talking about it, but it's kind of sad when you think about it because it's literally a symbol of the Most High's promise. But these people have perverted it to literally mean you're gay if you got a rainbow on. Yeah. So it's but the Lord, of course, that the new symbol is going to be fire. It's going to be fire and thermonuclear warfare, and there won't be no rainbows popping out of the sky after that. All you'll see is just thick black ash and rubble. You understand? That's all you're going to see. You're going to see mushroom clouds. That's what you're going to see. That's going to be the Most High's token of the new world. It's going to be mushroom clouds. So, maybe I'll start wearing mushroom clouds as a symbol. I don't know. But what I'm telling you is that what it initially was supposed to mean is God's promise not to flood the earth again. All right. Give me verse 14.
Okay. It shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth that a bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. And the water shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. Mm-hmm. Verse 16. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. Verse 17. And God said unto Noah, This is the token of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And all the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And Ham is the father of Canaan.
So Ham is when it says Ham is the father of Canaan. Ham is he's the progenitor of what you would call the so-called African tribes. All right. When you go into the continent of Africa, you see them cats with the plates in their lips and stuff. They all Hamites. All right. He's the father of those African tribes. His son, his direct son, is Canaan. The Canaanites are a lot of what you'll find. You'll find a lot of Canaanites. Those cats that are in West Africa today, most of those guys are Canaanites. People that in Nigeria and things like that. A lot of fake Israelites will try to say that those are our people. They're not. Those are the ones that sold us into slavery, and those are the ones that are the Canaanites. A lot of those guys are in the west coast of Africa. All right. Regardless, give me verse 19.
Okay, verse 19. These are the three sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread.
And these three sons of Noah repopulated the earth. All right. With they, of course, each one of them brothers, they had their wives, right? And they just was making babies. All right. Keep going.
Okay, verse 20. And Noah began to be a husbandman, and he planted a vineyard,
Mm-hmm.
and he drank of the wine, and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent.
And the brother drank. You understand? He just got off of this ark after being on it for 5-6 months, and he drank. Once again, it said that he was a husbandman, so he planted a vineyard. What the Lord told him to do? The Lord told him, "Be fruitful and replenish the earth." All of that water, some plants will survive in that water, but most plants are going to die. You can't overwater any plant most of the time. So a lot of these plants and trees and things like that ended up dying. So he had to go and replenish the earth like the Lord told him. So he went and started, planting trees, planting a vineyard, things like that. And it says that he drank of the wine and he got drunk. All right. And he was uncovered within his tent. Now, mind you, there's nothing unlawful about getting naked in your tent, in your room. That's your shit. Excuse my language. You understand? Be back in your crib, in your room. You having your drinks. You just got off. You got to understand the trauma of a man that just saw the entire earth drown. See, a lot of people think of this thing as like a magical thing, like you just see a bunch of water and now you're on this boat. No, it's cats in this water drowning. People that you told, hey, look, get on this boat because I'm trying to save your life. That's what the Lord told him to do. Tell these people, hey, I'm building an ark. I'm about to flood the earth. Didn't nobody listen to him. People that you told, hey, I'm trying to save your life, brother. I'm trying to save your life, sister. Get on this boat because you're going to drown if you don't. And then those same people, once you get on the boat, you see that water falling out the sky. You see the flood coming. And these people are drowning right in front of you on all sides of this boat, begging to get on the boat, but the doors of the ark been shut. You don't think that's traumatic, seeing thousands of people die in front of you? That's traumatic. Okay, this brother, and then being isolated on a boat with just you, your wife, and your 3 sons and their wives for 6 months, that's a traumatic experience. Don't think about this thing as some sort of magic fairy tale. This brother went through a whole lot with what he did in just these past few chapters. Okay, and so brother got drunk in his tent. He kicked back in his room. He ain't got no clothes on. All right, keep going.
Verse 22. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and he told his two brethren without.
And that's where he messed up. So Ham, he probably went in there to go check on his dad or say something to his dad or whatever. He go in there, open the tent, and he see his dad is naked on the bed. Now, instead of this is what a righteous brother would do. A righteous brother, turn around, get the hell out of there. Don't bother the brother for the rest of the night. He sleep, he naked. Don't bother him. And that's also in the law. You don't uncover the nakedness of a near to kin, your father, your mother, sister, brother. You don't see them naked. All right. That's in the law too, right? But instead of him doing what I just did and get the hell up out of there. What he did, he wanted to go tell his brothers about it. Hey, guys, come here real quick. Come look at dad. Right? Keep going.
Verse 23. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders.
And see, now these brothers was righteous. Okay. Shem and Japheth, Ham come to Shem and Japheth saying, hey, dad's in there naked, guys. Come look at it. All right. And these brothers like, what the hell is wrong with you? Oh, we not gonna go look at it. Matter of fact, hey, Japheth, let's go get that blanket. Bring that blanket. They put the blanket on their shoulder and they walk into the tent backwards, so that way they don't see the nakedness of their father. Keep going.
Went backward and covered the nakedness of their father.
Mm-hmm.
And their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness.
And see, this was not only just righteous, but this is just integrity, because he sleep. You understand? For most of the time, people do things that they feel like they can get away with. So Ham thought he could get away with it because his daddy sleep. He thought he could get away with exposing his nakedness. You understand? But it takes somebody that has integrity, meaning you do the right thing even when you don't know that anybody's looking at you. And these brothers didn't care whether or not they was going to get found out or not. They said, look, I don't want to see my father's nakedness. I'm going to do the honorable thing. I'm going to go cover him up. All right? Because this brother over here tripping, Ham tripping. He finna go in that tent in and out all night looking at his daddy naked. Weird ass nigga. You understand? So they was like, no, I'm gonna cover my father up. And they did the honorable thing. That's what they did. All right. Keep going.
Verse 24. And Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done unto him.
And so when he woke up, he realized that Ham had came and tried to expose his nakedness to his other brothers, right? Go ahead.
Verse 25. And he said, cursed be Canaan.
And so because of that, he cursed Canaan, which is Ham's son. All right. He cursed Ham's son. He put a curse on him. Go ahead.
A servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren.
So a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren, meaning he put him down low. He cursed. He prayed to the Most High to curse that man to be on low under all of the rest of his brothers. So Canaan technically is like the lowest nation out of all nations, at least at this point. Now we understand Esau, the only nation that's going to be, destroyed off of the face of the earth. But Canaan is a servant of servants, according to the Bible. All right. And that what makes that even worse is that your Christian church is going to teach you that you're a goddamn Canaanite. They're going to teach you that black people in America are Canaanites. And that's why we're going through this. So we understand that we under the curses, right? Deuteronomy 28th chapter, we're cursed because the Lord cursed us for not obeying his commandments. That's different. All right. That's a totally different curse than this. They try to tell you cursed because you're a Canaanite, but according to the Bible, an Israelite that's cursed can be redeemed and can be saved. A Canaanite cannot be redeemed and cannot be saved, and he's cursed and is doomed to be a servant of servants. That's a different type of curse. But your Christian pastor is going to try to teach the black people in America Canaanites. So like, I just had to throw that out there. That's a ridiculous thing to put on black people. That's like kicking us while we down. God damn, we already jammed up. You telling us that we just doomed? At least when I go out in the streets and I teach that black people are cursed, I tell them how to get out of the curse. There's no getting out of this curse though. So when your pastor tries to teach that you a cursed Canaanite, it's like, what do I do? I don't know, brother. I don't know what to tell you. Bible don't tell you that you can get out of this at all. I don't know, man. But anyway, keep reading.
Good question, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it says like Noah woke from his wine and knew his younger son. He's like a father knowing his child, like he saw he was covered when he woke up. So he automatically know that this dude here like up here, doing wild.
So we don't want to speculate too much because the Bible don't expressly say. You can assume a couple of things. You can assume that he knew his son and he knew what kind of person, the kind of son he was. Any good father knows what type of child that they have. So that's one possibility. The other possibility is that Shem and Japheth might have came to him in the morning and be like, "Hey, Pops, we had to put this on you because Ham was in there tripping. He tried to come show us your nakedness." You can only assume, but we can't know for sure. But what we do know for sure is that when he woke up, he had figured out that his son had tried to expose his nakedness. So that's all we can collect from that. But keep reading.
Verse 26. And he said, "Blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant."
And because of the honor that Shem and Japheth brought, he's about to bless both of them. Now we're Shemites, all right. And now out of Shem, you have Moab, Ammon, you have Edom, you have of course Jacob, Israel. So you got a lot of different nations that come out of Shem, right? But Noah's blessing Shem because of the righteous and honorable act that he did along with Japheth, right? Go ahead.
Verse 27. God shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant.
So Canaan is going to be, once again, under all of. Listen, Canaan is going to be under. We understand, according to the Bible, that Japheth is going to serve the Israelites. That's all throughout Bible prophecy. It tells us in the book of Isaiah that we're going to be rulers over all of the nations. The rest of the Shemites. Moab is my washpot, according to the Psalms. So these other nations are going to be servants to us, but Canaan is going to be servants to them, which means, once again, a servant of servants shall Canaan be, which is what that curse was. That means that as all these other nations are serving us, Canaan's going to have to serve them. They're going to be at the bottom of the totem pole. That's bad. And y'all wonder why we have such a disdain for Africans. Not even just, just count out all of the things that they did to us over the past 500 years. But go back to the beginning of time, damn near. They've always been just a nasty and disgusting people. All right, but let's keep reading.
Verse 28. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years. And all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died.
So he lived to be 950 years old and created many generations, and then he died. All right, so now let's read on down to verse 10. We're going to stop at verse 10. That's our 49 verses for today. We just run through this real quick. This is just going to be the generations of Noah and a lot of different genealogies, right? Keep going.
Book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 1. Now, these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshach, and Tyrus. The sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Rapath, and Togarmah. Verse 4. The sons of Javan, Elisha, and Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanian.
And just to understand, right, Japheth actually has been treated very terrible by white people. So, like, when you go into Magog is Russia, Ashkenaz is Germany, Tarshish is Spain. All of these different sons of Japheth, they established lands all across Europe. Europe was actually inhabited by Japheth, which is why you'll have some people that try to say that Japheth are white people, because a lot of these lands end up being in Europe. But what they don't do is they don't correlate history with the Bible. They don't put the two together, which they are one and the same. The Bible is a history book, but also we have to go into secular history to understand certain things out of the Bible, especially when we talk about geography. Okay, a lot of these lands are like I said, I mentioned Germany, Spain, France is in here, Russia's in here. A lot of these cats, those land masses were named after them because they established those land masses in Europe. Now, what ended up happening is that a lot of when Philip II came out, and like especially with the Macedonian Empire, I mean, oh my God, just came and wiped out Europe, and they took over a lot of those lands, which is why you see white people in Russia and white people in Spain and white people in France and Germany, because they took over those lands. But originally, those lands belonged to Japheth. Even if you go into Australia, those lands belong to Japheth, darker skinned people. The best way to understand what a Japhite looks like is like, think about a Hawaiian or a Polynesian. Those darker skinned people with those slanted eyes that you see in those lands, those were the original inhabitants of, say, your Australia or your Germany or all of those places in Europe. But they were kicked out and removed by those Edomite forces. All right. Just something that I could teach a whole class on that, but just something to just think about. as we going down these genealogies. But verse 5.
Now, verse 5. By these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, every one after his tongue, after their families in their nations. The sons of Ham, Cush is Mizraim and Put and Canaan. The sons of Cush, Seba and Havilah, and Sabbath, and Sapta, and Ramah, and Sabteka. And the sons of Ramah, Sheba and Dedan. And Cush begat Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth.
And Cush is Ethiopia. All right. Ethiopia is a nation in Eastern Africa that is known for being one of the only African nations, I think the only African country to never have been invaded by or taken over by white people. Every other African country has been demolished and you understand, colonized, right? Ethiopia it's got a record for being the only African country that has never been taken over by white people. Okay. And that is where Nimrod came from. Now, Nimrod we'll read about a lot actually in the Bible, but he began to be a mighty one in the earth because at one point Nimrod had his hand in every nation that was existing at the time. All right. He was a mighty king. All right. And he was a Cushite. He was a Hamite. All right. Verse 9.
Verse 9. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord.
All right. And the Bible is not, the Bible is not going to leave out that there are other nations that have had strong leaders. All right. The Bible is for us, by us. It's for Israelites, by Israelites. It's about us. And of course, it's for us. It's for the furthering of Black, Hispanic, and Native American unity and prosperity. However, we're not going to negate the fact that there have been other nations that have been extremely successful. And Nimrod was a very successful ruler at one time. Like I said, he had his hand in many nations, and he was a ruler that conquered damn near the entire world at that time. Shoot, that's where today you still celebrate Nimrod every year when you celebrate Christmas. The celebration of Christmas every December 25th is a celebration of Nimrod's death, and not a celebration of his death, but the celebration of the memory of Nimrod, so-called. That's what Christmas is about. We teach that. You can go back into our lessons anytime around the Christmas time. We teach about what Christmas is truly about. We go into the history, and it actually has everything to do with Nimrod. All right, so Nimrod, y'all still celebrate every single year. It's a mighty man, and the Bible is telling you that. All right, give me verse 10.
Verse 10. In the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, in Erech, and Akkad, and Calneh, in the land of Shinar.
So after we read, so next week we'll be getting into more of his kingdoms, understanding the Tower of Babel. All right, Babel is the root of Babylon, which means confusion. We're gonna get into that next week. We're gonna understand. See, a lot of Genesis is probably the hardest book to decipher for most people. Genesis is probably the hardest book to decipher for most people because there's a lot that goes into it. It's a very spiritual book. It's not just history, although it gives plenty of history, but it's a lot deeper than the surface level. All right. When we talk about Babel here next week, you're going to find out that confusion that was found at the Tower of Babel is the same confusion that we find in Babylon 3,000, 4,000 years later. But you, of course, have to be spiritual to be able to understand that. We'll give you all the understanding next week when we go over it. All right. But we're going to go ahead and close out with that. All right. All right, we're going to close out with the prayers. I imagine, which means to stand. Which means to turn and face the east. We're going to close out with the Lord's Prayer, beginning with the Hebrew. Awanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'a, Atazaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathalanawa, Lacham, Kal Yawam, Wasalakanawa, Kawatnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kawatinawa, Wala'a, Tabayanawa, Manasai 1, Abal, Awashanawa, Mayan, Raikaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Wathapara, Lawalamya, Aman. In the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. And so be it. The Akak, or the power, in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Barukushai, Nathan Lanawa Hakak, Hakak La Rapa'ah, Kal Maka'ala, Wakal Madawa, Hakak La Tahar, Amata Zaraya, Hakak La Kwayam, Amathiam, Hakak, Awrakawa, Atama Allah, Agar Shun, Ba'ashem Yahushai, the Waraman, in the English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushai, thank you, so be it. The prayers to bless Israel, in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Barak Lanawa, Wayasharala, Wahabayasa Parya, Barak, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Waraman. In English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, bless us and Israel and the school. In the name of Yahushai, thank you, so be it. Psalms the 121st chapter in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Ahaharya, Ma'ayan, Yaba'a, Isaiah, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayam, Wa'aratazar, Al-Yathan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al-Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shalmar, Yashala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al Yad, Yanyanka, Yawamam, Hashemah, La'a, Yakaka, Wayarach, Malayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Nakal Rai, Yashamar, Athnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'athka, Wabawa'aka, Ma'aitha, Wa'ai, Awulam. Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yahshua shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83rd chapter in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Aldama Yalaka, Alta Karash, Alta Shakwat, All, Hayana, Awayabika, Yamaya 1, Ra'ash, Al Amaka, Yamwa, Sawada, Wayitha, Yaitazawa, Al Tazapawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakagidam, Magoya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yashala, Awada, Kaya, Nawaitazawa, Laba, Yakhabwa, Awyaka, Baryath, Yakarathwa, Ahoya, Adawam, Wayashamaliyam, Mawa'aba, Wagaryam, Gabal, Rama 1, Ramalak, Palashah, I'm Yeshabia, Tazawar, Ramashawar, Ralawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zarwai, Labanya Lawat, Salah, Ashalaham, Kamadyan, Kasaya, Sara'a, Kayabyan, Manakal, Kwayashwan, Ashamatwa, Bayan, Dara, Hayawa, Daman, La Adama, Zayathamwa, Nada, Yabmawa, Ka'ira, Wakaza'aba, Wakazabach, Wakatazal, Mana'ai, Kal, Asaya Kamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Larashad, Lanawa, Ath, Nawat, Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kagalgala, Kakwash, Lapanya Rakad, Ka'ash, Kawaira, Ya'ira, Wakalahaba, Kalahat, Aryam, Khan, Daradapma, Basairika, Babasa, Wapathka, Tabalam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Kwalawan, Wabakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wabahawa, Ayai, Wakaparwa, Abadwa, the Iwa, Slakikaya Atha, Shamka, Yahawa, Labadka, Al Yawan, Al Kal, Psalms 83rd chapter in English. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace. And be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come. And let us cut them off from being a nation. That the name of Yasha'Allah may be no more remembered. They have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites, of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites. As to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kisan, which perished that endured. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nose like a red, and like Zeir. Yea, all their princes as Zabah, and as Amunah, who said, Let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may see thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish. And men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high of all the earth. We're going to read the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Wa Malaka Allah, Wa Alahayim, Matazab Yah, Allah Wap Yahana, Allah Wapium, Hasaranyum, Akotazayanyum, Akaya Yayum, Wa Hagrathim, Yahweh, Wa Hashem Yahweh Shai, the Wadaman. In the English, the blessings. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angel, commanding General Yahanna, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. Sorry, while you're shoving. Right, any brother that would like to be anointed with oil, you can step up to the front. All right, we're going to read these prayers. I point at you. Say your name. We'll do that 3 times. All right. Yabaraka Yahweh, Waya Shamarka, Ya'ar Yahweh Pan Yahweh Alyaka, Waya Khanka, Yasha'ar Yahweh Pan Yahweh Alyaka, Waya Shumlaka, Shalom, Yahweh Ba, Shem Yahweh Shai, Barak, Rapah, Magan, Hagan, Razan, Kazak, Ba, Shem Yahweh Shai, the Wadaman. All All right, sister, if you would like, you can step up. All right, since you know the drill as well, say these prayers and then we'll point at you and say your name 3 times. All right. Ya Baraka Yahweh wa Yashamarka Ya Ar Yahweh Pan Yawa Alyaka wa Khanka Yasha Ar Yahweh Pan Yawa Alyaka wa Shamlaka Shalom Yahweh wa Shem Yahweh Shai Barak Rapa Magan Hagan
Rayana.
Rayana
Rayana.
Rayana
Rayana.
Rayana by Shem Yahweh Shai Thawaraman. Clap it up for the sister. All right, what we just said in the English comes from Numbers the 6th chapter, verses 22 through 27. Yahweh bless thee and keep thee. Yahweh make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, bless, heal, shield, and protect these brothers and their sisters. All right. With that being said, we're going to close out Men of Israel Majim, which makes us stand. I'm going to salute out the Sabbath service. Men of Israel Majim Shabbat. Amajim, Barak, Yahweh, sorry towards the sister. So you can stand. Amajim. You get a sister courtesy salute. Men of Israel Majim Shabbat. Amajim, Barak. Yahweh Shemar Latham B'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shemar Latham B'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Matah. Dismiss.